Much as I thought I could plan a podcast, that is not going to happen. I do not have the mindset to sit here. Chop up block for block how I'm going to tell you about weight loss and weight gain. Good evening on this February 11th, 2022. The time is 11:30 p.m. and welcome to Early in the A.M. with Isha. This poem is called Leadership on Bail. Sobriety. I wrote it on February 6, 2022, so bear with my lateness on not disclosing it to you. In the bail of the ship, sobriety crashes, challenging and supplying drunkenness, each member casting out as the sail of the ship in the wind, the breath uneasy in the wind, impaled in anxiety, worry, and suppression. And every day, the same woman, with the same logic and easiness, decides to stay awake, to make sure the ship stays steady and everyone aboard doesn't drown. Saying the same things about the same people, with the same lips and breath she earned from the last man she'd kissed. It had been some years, but through its memory, she keeps the ship steady, and the crew, through her humility, laughing and entertained. Sadness crashes into her head and her heart, but she doesn't have the time to cry. Dehydration has her tears, and adulthood her pride. Cleaning up the vomit and the motion sicknesses, she keeps the appearance up. To those who know her, she's quiet, respectful, and reserved. And to those who don't, she is quite mean. One day, after years and years of just constantly doing the same things, she tires out and slumps over the back of her seat. The party stops, and panic ensues on what to do and where to go and how much it costs to keep the ship at sea. I just need one day's sleep, and I'll be okay, she cries. I will recover and resume the day. But no one heard or listened, and so the exhaustion of the leader exhausted the crew, depleted all the funds and reserves, as miscommunication led to greed and violence, self-interest, and ultimately anarchy. By the time the leader awoke from her nap, the ship had crashed and was sinking deep into the sea. Everyone had abandoned ship and forgot to alert their captain. She awoke underwater, but not confused. Sinking ships happen. It's just a part of sailing that she has come accustomed to. It wasn't the first time she had lost a ship at sea, and it wouldn't be the last. She just turned back into the mermaid she was and swam back to shore and began a new task of building a stronger ship. After a few years, she was back out at sea with a whole new crew, ready for the inevitable, just like she's supposed to. Yay! Okay, so I was watching a YouTuber today. His name is Will on a Whim. He out from the East Coast, and he was talking about something very interesting. Very interesting. It's a common topic, but it's not new. But I kind of want to touch bases on it. He says, "Why do people leave, like dirty comments about people, or evil comments, or mean comments, or even ignorant comments about people they don't know?" It's the whole sea crashing up on the shore type of ordeal. It's something not to take personal. You know what I mean? It's as somebody who watches, I watch him from the outside. So I'm part of that crowd that he's facing when he looks at the camera and he makes his videos. I mean, personally, it's when you show yourself in front of a camera, it's the whole thing in reverse. You know how your mother will always say to you, Stop sitting too close to the TV, you'll go blind. Let's say part of your livelihood, part of your essence, part of what makes you you. And every time you present yourself to people, you're giving parts of yourself away. Even though it's not a personal secret, you're just giving your parts of your identity away, parts of your caring nature, parts of your love, and you don't know who you're giving them to. You're just shooting in the dark, and you're hoping you're not creating a super killer or super protein. I've talked about this before. When we build things, we do all these things in the dark. You have a lot of things you do, and a lot of it becomes light, and these people pop up in the positive. They're very encouraging. But in that same breath, there are people who are just as negative, and they're always in a negative. And that's just a balance of being in entertainment. A lot of people just, it's not that they have it in for you personally. To them, you're just something to beat up on. You're in the public eye and they're not. So, you might as well. You already have the attention coming at you. What's another thing? What's another insult? Somebody's going to insult you anyway. What's another thing? And, they'll beat up on you to make their lives feel better. I was watching a comedian called, his name is Gary Owens, and he said it himself. He was like, I follow you because you make me feel better about my life. What you go through makes me feel better about myself. And that's the God honest truth. People lean on people to feel better about themselves. I've been in that boat a few times. So the things I've been through have been so crass. And so, I want to say illmatic, but that definitely doesn't fit the category. But it's been very hood, more hood than I could have ever imagined for myself, or even deal to myself. And a lot of people leaned on my flaws to make themselves feel better. And I think that's where I think it's taken me a long time to get over that. I can go out and live my life and hustle 9 to 5 and make sure my bills is paid. But my pride was on death row, was on his deathbed. Having that kind of injury, trying to hide it, it's very cruel. And it's just, it shows you how much of a monster the world is that we're dealing with. And you start compromising because you just want to heal. You just want to heal. You don't want to be, succumb to that anymore. And a lot of people, especially in the YouTubeverse and social media stars, they'll run and hide from the camera for a week and they think they're getting away from it. And you can't really get numb to that situation because that's your money bag. You're going to have to face it at some point. It's just finding a way to keep increasing and keep the balance as strong as you can get it, because it's going to keep coming. The more you think it's not going to be there, the more you hide from it, the stronger it gets without you. And every time you face it, it feels like it's twice as strong. The thing is, it's a weight building thing, and you have to get your lungs and your heart have to want to embrace it. You have to get yourself in a position where you want to embrace it. That's why you see a lot of these stars, they party hard and they drink and they drug hard and then they fight hard because they get their spirit ready for the bullshit. They're just ready for somebody to come up on them. So, they stay ready so they don't have to get ready. And that's in every sect. I mean, even if that's not your lifestyle, even if that's not what you're about, a part of you has to stay ready just for the little comments that'll irk you and throw you off your marker for a day or two. That day or two that you skipped could have been another money bag. It could have been another opportunity for you to expand your platform. I have no idea why my expansion is coming so slow. I'm trying to learn about things. I'm very slow. I'm very tired. My pride isn't up to par at all. A lot of things about me aren't up to par, but I keep trying anyway. And that's the God honest truth. But only thing you have to worry about your fans, as long as you keep the business personal line there, as long as you don't mix business with pleasure, you will always be in control. Control is key. There's certain things about control, about being in control and knowing that there are things that you can't control is also key. But as a fan, I see where the hate can come from. You know what I mean? I see how people can look at you, and because you're letting the air in, how those gusts of wind rush in with it. You think you're getting a slight breeze. Oh, let me open this window. That's your platform. And you're getting these real good breezes, and it's cooling out your house. And all of a sudden you get these tornado gusts that come in. It's because you can't control that. I mean, you can open and close the window, but when you open that window, there's the possibility that you're letting those kind of winds in at the same time. You just gotta stay strong and be strong. It's mental toughness. Mental toughness is getting hit in your light bulb. That's your thinking place. That's your awareness place. You're not aware in any place the way you're aware in your head. I mean, you're not aware in your feet that way. No matter how much you work out your arm, you and your arm will never have the conversation that you may have with your brain. And a lot of fans on the outside, they think they're talking to you. They think they physically have the same connection to you that you have inside of your own mind. And as soon as you realize that they don't, they will never realize that. They will go to any lengths to make sure that the illusion to them is still alive. But you can't be in a way where the illusion gets stronger than you. When the illusion gets stronger than you, that's when you lose control. That's where you got to find ways to keep proving things that don't need to be proven. You abstract in a very real place. That's what it's abstract in a very real place. That's what I want to say. Well, there's not much I can say about it. I mean, people in the religious sect go through the same thing. They deal with demons when they're trying to praise God. I mean, I don't know. What I've been through, I know I'm mentally tough, and I get tougher every day. It's been a long 25 years for me, very long. But I'll tell you what, I'm still a kid at heart. I still laugh, I still cry, I still, I'm not so grown that I can't listen, or I can't be disciplined, or I can't accept criticism. That's where a lot of flaws come in. Where you get so grown or so determined that you can't accept criticism, or you can't accept praise, or you can't accept punishment, or you can't accept the truth from someone, or you can't accept to be confronted on your BS. Or you can't accept the truth about yourself, or you can't tell yourself the own truth. Those are the things that can make and break people. Keeping it real is an issue, because I'm such a mentalist. And people always challenge you to keep it real. They want you to come out of that space and get into a place where you're trapped outside of yourself, just to see how you'll react. There's a lot of people like that in the world. You gotta stay away from them. You gotta find things. Try not to be alone as much either. I'm a loner too, but I'm always around my mom, so I'm kind of not alone at the same time. Well, that's about it. I mean, if I have anything else good to say about people on the outside looking in, I'll make sure I tell you about it. But that's how I feel. Social media is for pretty people. And it's also for a whole other stage of people, like mental strong people and tough people and ugly people and evil people. There's an audience for, I think, every kind of human that's ever existed. And hopefully mine will be just as popular too, since I figure out what it is. Alright, love. I'm about done talking about whatever I was just talking about, But thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. Talk to you later. See you when I see you. As much as I thought I could plan a podcast, that is not going to happen. I do not have the mindset to sit here. Chop up block to block how I'm going to tell you about weight loss and weight gain.